Africa's automotive revolution is happening, and you're not hearing about it. Over 30,000 vehicles roll off the production lines every single day, more than 10 million cars, trucks, and buses a year. The world's eyes are glued to Silicon Valley's electric dreams, while Africa quietly lays the groundwork to rewrite the rules of transportation. What if we told you that the future of transportation doesn't need charging stations or fuel pumps? What if there was a way to power vehicles without relying on any of the conventional systems we've grown accustomed to? From the factory floors of Casablanca to the rugged roads of Zimbabwe, African engineers are crafting vehicles designed for the harshest conditions. These cars aren't just built to innovate, they're built to survive. And with this new approach, could Africa be on the verge of making entire business models, like Elon Musk's electric car empire, obsolete? Stick around, you won't believe what's coming next. Micronic breakthrough. In a modest garage in Harare, Zimbabwe, inventor Maxwell Chikumbutso unveils the Micronic Energy Converter, a device capable of capturing ambient radio frequencies and converting them into usable electricity. At first, the concept seems far-fetched, but Maxwell's real-world demonstration proves otherwise. When he tested the device, he stood beside a vehicle equipped with the converter and nervously pressed the ignition. To his astonishment, the headlights lit up, and the vehicle moved forward, entirely powered by radio waves, with no reliance on fuel or electricity from the grid. In that moment, Maxwell realized the profound potential of his invention, not just as a technological marvel, but as a solution to Africa's chronic fuel shortages and unreliable power infrastructure. The vehicle, powered solely by ambient radio waves, smoothly navigated the streets of Harare and rural paths, highlighting the possibility of running a car without the need for fossil fuels, charging docks, or lithium-ion batteries. This breakthrough offers a glimpse into a future where electric vehicle charging stations and gas pumps might become obsolete. What makes Maxwell's invention truly revolutionary is its simplicity and practicality. Without the need for heavy batteries or fuel tanks, these self-powered vehicles are not only more affordable, but also resilient and adaptable, making them ideal for areas where traditional vehicles and infrastructure have long been out of reach. While the world focuses on electric vehicles powered by batteries, Maxwell's Micronic Energy Converter quietly sets the stage for a transportation revolution, one built on the invisible, abundant energy all around us. This breakthrough could fundamentally change the automotive landscape, especially in regions where access to resources is limited, offering new hope for rural communities in Africa and beyond. But every revolution starts somewhere, with a spark, an idea, and a breakthrough few dare to believe in. In a small garage in Zimbabwe, that spark became a reality. Continental surge. Across the continent, from north to south and east to west, an unprecedented automotive production surge is underway. Morocco alone exports over 400,000 vehicles annually, becoming Africa's largest automotive exporter seemingly overnight. In South Africa, more than 100,000 skilled workers build vehicles that now contribute over 4% to the nation's total economic output. Meanwhile, assembly lines in Nigeria and Ghana hum with activity, producing cars designed to withstand Africa's demanding terrains and unpredictable climate conditions. These factories are not merely assembly points for foreign-designed cars. Each vehicle emerging from these production lines carries the distinctive imprint of African engineering: robust suspension systems, higher ground clearance, and components engineered specifically to handle dust storms, potholes, and flooding. The workers on these factory floors take immense pride in creating vehicles perfectly adapted for the everyday realities faced by millions across the continent. Yet, despite their accomplishments, global automotive markets rarely acknowledge the scale of this shift. Industry leaders and analysts in Europe, America, and Asia continue to underestimate Africa's capabilities, largely unaware of the rapid industrialization unfolding across this vast region. As the factories in Lagos and Accra expand, employing thousands more workers each year, the world's attention remains fixated on electric vehicle launches and technological showcases in Europe and North America. This automotive explosion is sustained by robust local supply chains, woven deeply into the fabric of African economies: steel forged in Kenyan mills, tires produced in Egyptian factories, upholstery stitched by skilled craftsmen in Nigeria. Every vehicle produced supports thousands of jobs and businesses across multiple nations. We dug into Africa's hidden automotive surge, factories, inventors, and breakthroughs, all so you get the clearest shortcut to tomorrow's car revolution. Now you know exactly why this matters for the future of transportation. If that insight helped you, go ahead and subscribe and tap the bell. This extensive local sourcing not only ensures resilience against global supply disruptions, but also spreads economic benefits broadly throughout communities. Africa's automotive revolution stands as a testament to self-sufficiency, ingenuity, and resilience. These vehicles are more than mere commodities. They represent economic empowerment, national pride, and a challenge to global perceptions of African capability. While Africa builds for its future, Silicon Valley bets everything on a very different vision. But what happens when that bet no longer holds up? Elon's blind spot. While Elon Musk celebrates the global expansion of Tesla's supercharger network, envisioning a future dominated by battery-powered cars, a different kind of automotive future quietly approaches. Tesla invested billions of dollars building an extensive global charging network, convinced that electric vehicle dominance hinged upon infrastructure. Each charging station represented another barrier to competition, another moat surrounding Tesla's empire. Yet, Africa's self-powered vehicle revolution completely undermines Tesla's strategic advantage. Picture abandoned charging stations, their ports unused, their cables rusting away, no longer essential. As vehicles powered solely by invisible ambient energy glide effortlessly past these monuments of outdated infrastructure, Tesla's vast investment begins to appear precariously fragile. For Tesla, this shift represents not merely a competitive challenge, but an existential threat. If vehicles no longer require charging, Tesla's global network transforms from valuable asset to costly liability. Elon Musk, renowned for his visionary foresight, may have overlooked one critical detail. Innovation does not always follow established paths. The automotive industry now faces a turning point more significant than the introduction of electric vehicles themselves. A new breed of cars emerges, vehicles untethered from traditional infrastructure, powered by invisible energy, designed for global markets hungry for affordable, practical mobility solutions. Tesla's celebrated dominance faces disruption, not from a rival automaker in Germany or China, but from the workshops, factories, and garages of a continent long ignored by Silicon Valley executives. The transformation now taking place across Africa may redefine transportation forever. The next great automotive leap forward won't originate in Detroit, Stuttgart, or Fremont, but rather from communities like Harare, Accra, and Lagos, where innovation emerges not from abundance, but from necessity. Elon Musk's blind spot may soon become his, and the industry's greatest lesson. Now, durability alone isn't enough. In regions where even electricity is a rare luxury, Africa needed a way to break free from the grid itself, war-tested by design. In a remote corner of northern Nigeria, a dust storm rises from the horizon, swallowing roads and obscuring the sun. Visibility drops to mere inches, yet a lone vehicle plows forward, undeterred. This car was never meant for smooth highways. It was built precisely for chaos, where luxury sedans falter, choking on fine sand and gravel. African-made vehicles thrive. Their suspensions absorb jolts from rugged paths riddled with potholes that would shatter lesser machines. Each component, from higher ground clearance to reinforced chassis, reflects a deep understanding of the continent's harsh realities. Consider the story of Samuel, a farmer in rural Nigeria, whose nearest medical facility lies beyond 30 miles of rough terrain. After torrential rains washed out every accessible road, Samuel found himself stranded when his daughter fell severely ill. He turned to the only vehicle that could brave floodwaters and mudslides, a locally built prototype designed specifically to traverse terrain that no imported car could survive. Thanks to its rugged build and robust suspension, Samuel reached the clinic safely, a journey that would have been impossible in a standard sedan. African cars survive not through electronic sensors or computer diagnostics, but through raw mechanical ingenuity. The designs are elegantly simple, easily repaired by local mechanics with basic tools and a piece of wire rather than specialized diagnostic equipment. Such resilience isn't optional. It's a necessity born of real-world demands, where reliability and durability outweigh digital gimmicks. Across the continent, vehicles like Samuel's serve not just single purposes, but many. As dawn breaks, the same truck carries farm produce to market. By midday, it transforms into a school bus, ferrying children along dusty trails. By evening, it doubles as a transport van, carrying essential goods between remote villages. African-built vehicles effortlessly adapt from farms to families to small businesses, underpinning entire communities. Beyond the grid, Yet, durability alone is insufficient. In vast regions across Africa, electricity remains an elusive luxury, with rural blackouts lasting days, sometimes weeks. In a small village in Zambia, residents have never experienced reliable electricity, much less a charging station. Traditional electric vehicles are inconceivable here, not due to skepticism, but because charging infrastructure simply does not exist. This harsh reality spurred African innovators to seek solutions beyond the conventional power grid entirely. The innovation led directly back to Maxwell Chikumbutso's remarkable invention, the micronic energy converter, capable of harnessing ambient radio waves that permeate the air around us. Without reliance on power lines, fuel stations, or lithium batteries, these self-powered vehicles are redefining mobility for millions previously excluded from transportation infrastructure. Villages isolated by geography and poverty are now connected through innovation born out of necessity rather than convenience. Across Kenya, charging stations powered by geothermal energy now dot the landscape, connecting communities once isolated by distance. In Uganda, solar-powered buses transport commuters without any reliance on fossil fuels or foreign energy sources. Nigeria's researchers explore engines running on biofuel extracted locally from cassava roots, effectively bypassing the oil industry entirely. This decentralized approach is more than a technological feat. It represents a fundamental shift in the way mobility can serve human survival. With the energy problem solved, the next step was simple: build vehicles that could transform to meet every need, every day. Multi-role machines. In Ghana's capital city, Accra, a single self-powered SUV moves seamlessly through multiple roles each day, showcasing unmatched versatility. At sunrise, it transports crops from farm to urban markets. Later, it shuttles school children safely across difficult terrain, then continues late into the evening, serving as a mobile store for local merchants. One vehicle thus transforms into a lifeline, integrating diverse aspects of daily life in places where transport alternatives simply do not exist. These multi-role vehicles demonstrate not only practical innovation, but also deep community integration. Their designs emerge directly from the everyday needs of local people, rather than from distant boardroom decisions. Built ruggedly, serviced locally, and sustained by the communities they empower, these cars become symbols of a new kind of freedom. Freedom from imported solutions, unsuited to African realities. This profound shift towards homegrown solutions is enabled largely through a thriving local supply network. Small enterprises scattered across the continent, Kenyan steel mills, Egyptian tire manufacturers, Nigerian upholstery workshops, each contribute to this automotive ecosystem. Every component sourced within Africa not only cuts costs and ensures rapid availability, but also spreads economic benefits widely. One upholstery workshop in Lagos supports an entire neighborhood. One tire factory in Cairo educates 20 families. The African automotive revolution thrives precisely because it is decentralized, flexible, and deeply interwoven into local economies. Where foreign suppliers might falter or delay shipments, local workshops step forward, adapting instantly to demand. The resulting resilience ensures that production continues uninterrupted, despite global disruptions. And behind every vehicle stands an invisible army of makers, small workshops, factories, and craftsmen fueling Africa's industrial rise. Local supply web. Behind every rugged, self-powered vehicle is a hidden network of makers, small workshops and family-run factories fueling Africa's industrial surge. In Lagos, an upholstery workshop that once stitched furniture now employs dozens of young people crafting durable car interiors, each seam stitched with the promise of a better life. A few thousand miles away in Nairobi, steel mills pound out frames and chassis that form the bones of Africa's new generation of vehicles, injecting jobs and vitality into once struggling towns. This intricate supply web does more than build cars. It builds resilience. Local businesses adapt instantly to shifting demands, outpacing the slow gears of global supply chains. Every bolt tightened, every panel welded represents economic empowerment rooted deeply in African soil. Here, innovation isn't hidden behind patent walls. It's shared, multiplied, and carried by the hands of thousands. Together, they form a decentralized ecosystem, one nimble enough to weather global disruptions, and bold enough to challenge the giants of the automotive world. Transitioning from these grassroots foundations, nations across Africa are now moving decisively onto the world stage, eager to assert their newfound automotive dominance in ways even the West can no longer ignore. Morocco's export empire. Morning light breaks over the port of Tangier, revealing line after line of sturdy sport utility vehicles bound for Europe. In 2023, Morocco quietly shipped 400,000 cars, transforming from automotive novice to Africa's leading exporter. This wasn't by accident. It was the result of a national strategy that blended foreign expertise with homegrown ambition. Partnerships with Renault and Stellantis brought advanced engineering and assembly techniques to Moroccan soil, while local authorities offered tax incentives and streamlined permitting to attract factories. Vocational schools retrained thousands of young Moroccans in welding, robotics, and quality control, ensuring a skilled workforce was ready on day one. Over time, the factories in Tangier and Casablanca became models of efficient production, matching Western standards at a fraction of the labor cost. Every chassis, engine, and interior component met rigorous export requirements, earning praise from European regulators and buyers alike. The economic impact rippled outward. Ports upgraded their cranes and logistics hubs. Local suppliers sprouted steel and plastics workshops, and communities once reliant on agriculture found new opportunities in manufacturing. Moroccans now talk of a North African Detroit, where prosperity is built on assembly lines rather than fields. Moving further south, another nation wove cars into the social fabric of its people. South Africa's social contract. In Pretoria, sprawling assembly plants stand as monuments to South Africa's commitment to industrial growth and social uplift. Over 100,000 direct jobs in auto manufacturing support entire families. And when suppliers, logistics, and dealerships are included, that figure nearly triples. The sector contributes 4.3% of the nation's gross domestic product, but its deeper value lies in community cohesion. Many workers are second or third generation. Grandparents who assembled frames now train their grandchildren in electronics and paintwork, passing on skills that mean lifetime employment. Government policies play a pivotal role. Import duties protect local production, while grants fund research into clean energy adaptations. Public-private councils bring together union leaders, factory owners, and municipal officials to resolve disputes before strikes can disrupt output. South African vehicles roll off the line not just as products but as promises to feed families, to anchor neighborhoods, and to build a sense of shared destiny. Shifting focus westward, entrepreneurial spirit fuels another wave of innovation. Nigeria and Ghana rising. In bustling workshops across Lagos and Accra, garage-born prototypes stand alongside traditional sedans, symbols of two countries carving their own automotive futures. In Accra, Continental Motors crafts sport utility vehicles, tailored for rocky backroads and erratic fuel supplies. Founders, often engineers turned entrepreneurs, design chassis with extra ground clearance and engines tuned for biofuel blends made from locally grown cassava. These vehicles sell at prices accessible to middle-income families, turning car ownership from luxury into achievable aspiration. Meanwhile, Nissan Motors in Lagos assembles compact vans that shuttle commuters through city traffic and haul goods between villages. Young mechanics innovate daily, swapping parts sourced from across Nigeria's booming parts market. Their designs may lack the polish of import brand showrooms, but they make up for it with resilience and affordability. Each sale supports dozens of local suppliers, from upholstery shops to tire remanufacturers, multiplying economic benefits across communities. Crossing continental borders brings us into the realm of geopolitics and global investment. It didn't take long for the world to notice. As Africa's factories roared to life, global powers scrambled to stake their claims in this new automotive frontier. Global allies and adversaries. In Nairobi's bustling industrial park, Chinese engineers and Kenyan officials signed memoranda of understanding, laying out billions in infrastructure loans and joint venture agreements. China's approach is direct: fund seaports, build manufacturing zones, provide training programs, and secure long-term stakes in any resulting intellectual property. As a result, factories in Ethiopia and Zambia rise from the ground up with Chinese-backed technology, poised to scale rapidly. At the same time, Western governments issue cautious statements, questioning safety standards and regulatory oversight. European auto lobbies lobby their home governments to scrutinize African exports. invoking concerns about untested technologies and compliance with environmental directives. Yet the financial realities are clear. Where Western firms hesitate, Chinese partnerships accelerate progress. Infrastructure financing from Beijing underwrites new roads and energy grids that benefit both local communities and auto plants, creating a network of mutual dependence. This global tug-of-war highlights a shift in the balance of power. No longer content to import foreign brands, African nations are forging alliances that position them as equals rather than consumers. As competition intensifies, the contours of a new automotive order emerge, one driven by partnership, resilience, and the unyielding drive to redefine mobility on their own terms. Morocco's export empire. At the port of Tangier, rows of self-powered vehicles stretch as far as the eye can see, each bearing the promise of a nation's ambition. In 2023, Morocco achieved what many deemed impossible, exporting 400,000 cars in a single calendar year. These vehicles are not mere assembly line curiosities. They emerge from strategic partnerships with global automotive leaders, such as Renault and Stellantis, transforming local factories into hubs of high-precision engineering. Moroccan welders and technicians, trained on-site by international experts, now command skills once reserved for European workforces. Government incentives, ranging from tax relief to infrastructure grants, have anchored these operations firmly on African soil, while ports upgraded with state-of-the-art loading cranes ensure vehicles move swiftly to markets across Europe. The result is a continent's first true export powerhouse, capable of competing head-to-head with established producers. Across the region, Moroccan-made SUVs and sedans are gaining a reputation for affordability, efficiency, and emission-friendly performance, aligning perfectly with stringent European regulations. These vehicles, once dismissed as inferior to their Western counterparts, now hold a significant share of the European market. With further expansion expected, Morocco's automotive industry stands as a testament to how strategic partnerships, government investment, and local talent can disrupt global supply chains. Meanwhile, South Africa was charting its own course toward automotive sovereignty. South Africa's social contract. In Pretoria's sprawling industrial zone, assembly lines hum with quiet purpose, each station manned by workers whose jobs support entire communities. South Africa's automotive sector now employs 100,000 people directly, and when suppliers and logistics are factored in, that figure swells dramatically. The industry contributes 4.3% to national gross domestic product, but its true impact resonates far beyond economic metrics. Multi-generational families find stability in factory wages, while local vocational schools tailor curricula to the industry's evolving needs. Government policies, crafted through collaboration between ministers and trade unions, ensure that each new plant opening includes commitments to community development, from healthcare clinics to affordable housing. South African engineers refine designs for vehicles destined for both domestic roads and export markets, drawing on decades of experience with rugged terrain and diverse climates. This human-centric approach stands in stark contrast to automation-heavy models elsewhere, emphasizing rootedness over mere scale. The pride of the workforce is evident in every completed vehicle, not just as a product, but as a symbol of national identity and economic empowerment. Further west, Nigeria and Ghana showcased another dimension of Africa's automotive renaissance. Nigeria and Ghana rising. In Accra's open-air workshops and Lagos's bustling assembly yards, homegrown brands like Kantanka and Inison Motors are redefining what a car can be. Kantanka's rugged sport utility vehicles, engineered to withstand torrential rains and unpaved roads, feature reinforced suspensions and high-clearance chassis, all designed by Ghanaian engineers who know their country's challenges intimately. In Nigeria, Inison Motors assembles affordable transport vans that serve as lifelines for traders navigating fragmented highway networks. Each vehicle tells a story of local ambition. The software developer turned entrepreneur who wrote custom control algorithms, the machinist who fabricated prototype parts in a neighborhood garage, the university laboratory that tested materials under extreme conditions. Investors, both domestic and international, have taken notice, funding expansions that increase daily output to 30,000 vehicles continent-wide. These startups embody the spirit of innovation without permission, creating solutions not dictated by export quotas, but driven by the urgent needs of African consumers. The demand for affordable, rugged mobility solutions is skyrocketing, and Africa is well positioned to meet it. These companies are not simply entering the market, they are fundamentally reshaping it. offering products designed to address local realities that often go ignored by global automakers. Beyond national borders, global powers have moved swiftly to secure their positions. Global allies and adversaries. Chinese investors convene in Nairobi's gleaming conference halls to sign memoranda of understanding on factory expansions that will double production capacity within the next 5 years. Infrastructure loans, accompanied by technical training programs, pave the way for joint ventures in Ethiopia and Kenya, where both governments and local entrepreneurs see collaboration as the fastest route to scaling self-powered mobility. European automakers, long accustomed to exporting vehicles to Africa, now explore partnerships with African startups to remain relevant. Meanwhile, Western think tanks publish cautionary white papers, questioning safety standards and regulatory compliance, echoing familiar skepticism toward technological breakthroughs emerging outside traditional research hubs. Yet, African engineers remain undeterred, continuing to refine radio frequency converters and biofuel engines even as patent battles and geopolitical maneuvering intensify. This collision of interests between community-driven innovation and global corporate strategy has set the stage for a high-stakes contest over the future of mobility. With alliances forming and rivalries deepening, the world watches as Africa's automotive revolution challenges entrenched powers and redefines the rules of the road. As this revolution unfolds, it becomes clear that Africa's automotive sector is no longer just about local survival or meeting regional needs. It is emerging as a formidable global player, reshaping the dynamics of an industry long dominated by the West. The transition is gaining momentum, and the next chapter of this automotive renaissance is about to unfold on an even larger stage. So, what do you think? Are we witnessing the dawn of a new era in automotive technology, or is this just another fleeting innovation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about the future of transportation and whether it's time to rethink everything we know about electric vehicles.